scariest things about marrying a professional hockey player is what are we going to do when this is all over? Right now, we are setting ourselves up for our future. And this summer, my husband and I are starting a hockey camp, and we are starting the process right now. First of all, we need a name. What are we going to name it? We went through so many different iterations, so many different ideas, things that just felt like really corporate, things that just didn't feel like us. And finally, one day, we were like, what about the hockey house? And I know that maybe sounds cheesy, but when my husband played at the University of Minnesota, he lived in a house with a bunch of guys, and could you guess what they called it? They called it the hockey house. We met there, we hung out there a lot, and I just feel like it was part of our story. So we thought that'd be a really good name. I have very specific logo and vibe brand identity details I want to go over, but I'm going to do that in the next one. Want your opinions on that for sure. And then how are we going to be different? This is really hard because there are so many hockey camps, hockey schools, hockey programs in Minnesota. We go home for the summer. My husband skates with a professional group. They work out together. And all of this is on the west side of the city. So think Edina, Minnetonka, Eden Prairie. And we live on the east side. So my husband was having to make that trek, that 40-minute drive every single morning for hockey. And we were like, well, damn, I wish I was over in this area. And we were like, well, why don't we do that? So we're trying to bring some of those elite professional programs, and there are professional programs on the east side, but the one that we're specifically working on was on the west side. We have a couple different ideas on what we're going to do to stand out and be different, but this summer we're starting pretty small. So those big ideas are going to come to fruition, hopefully after this is a success. So the next thing we are working on is how are we going to get people to join? How are we going to do marketing? How are we going to stand out? And I'm going to discuss that more in the next video. And also we need to cover how are we getting ice? How are we getting ice time in this incredibly competitive market in Minnesota? Stick around for our journey. And if you have been in this industry before, would love the tips, would love the guidance in the comments. Or if you are potentially a mom or a dad or a guardian or anything that is looking to put their child in a hockey program this summer, think about us. Think about us. We'll be here for you.